When the Framework 13 achieved our first laptop 10 out of 10 repair score in 2021, everyone said cool, but can it scale? With the ThinkPad T14 Gen 7 and its bigger sibling, the T16 Gen 5, Lenovo's proven that repairable design is possible at the biggest scale in the world. Lenovo's the best-selling laptop brand. They've got over 40% of the entire enterprise laptop market. We're talking about 100 Mount Everests worth of laptops here. If you stack the over 48 million Lenovo laptops sold in 2025, they'd be taller than the highest mountain on Earth by nearly 100 times. And this year, not one but two of their flagship T-Series business laptops have earned 10 out of 10 repairability scores. Good gravy, I hear you say, and while that might be the case, please keep that stuff away from the keyboard. Or maybe not. Let me show you something so cool it might blow your mind. Now before we go on, I need to make it clear that while iFixit does have a business relationship with Lenovo, that in no way influences our repairability assessment. Lenovo had no say in the making of this video, which is as it should be. With that out of the way, let's get to the teardown. We're looking at the T14 Gen 7 today, and the way in is going to be to flip the laptop over to remove the bottom cover. But check this out, see those two graphics etched into the plastic that look like a keyboard? Loosen those two screws, flip the laptop back over it, and hey presto, the keyboard comes out. That's easily the fastest keyboard swap I've ever done. To be fair, Lenovo's been doing this for a long time, but I still get a little giddy every time it shows up. Let's loosen these captive screws and pop that bottom cover off because there's another big surprise within reach, a tool-free battery removal. This is the cleanest battery removal process I've seen. Sure, chunky laptops of yore had external batteries, but in a world of internal everything, this is pretty cool. Both sizes of this laptop share a vastly similar parts bin too. The T16 on our bench shipped with a higher capacity 75 Wh battery compared to the 60 Wh in the T14. However, they're the same size and actually cross-compatible. Want a higher capacity battery? There's an upgrade path here for you. The motherboards, fans, heatsinks, trackpads, and some other small bits and bobs are also identical. This interoperability decreases the amount of spare parts Lenovo has to manage, and makes life simpler for whatever IT department has to fix these in the future. The standard M.2 storage is easily accessible too, and it's tempting to say that it's nothing to write home about given how long replaceable drives have been around. But have you met Apple's MacBook Pros yet? Or the ever-expanding line of laptops with soldered storage? Here's another reason to celebrate, and this one's mostly new. This is what happens when you combine the modularity of a DDR stick with the efficiency and performance of LPDDR. This is an LPCAMM2 module. It's fast, it's power efficient, it's modular, and honestly, it's about time I saw this in the wild. We talked about it at length back in 2024 when we teamed up with Micron to tell the story of LPCAMM2. Check out the blog post and video in the description for a deep dive into this amazing game changer for modular memory. Less exciting but still very important, the real-time clock or RTC battery. Modular, replaceable, and wrapped in plastic sunshine. Now you might have noticed at this point that with the keyboard and battery out, virtually everything is accessible from the jump. I can reach really any components at this point. I'm choosing the component that looks most interesting to me, starting with the fan. Easy to remove means easy to clean. We have seen plenty of laptops where the fan and heatsink are locked together as one part, which would mean reapplying thermal paste just to get dust bunnies out of the fan. That's not required here. I'm kind of riding on a repairability high right now, and I guess it's inevitable that the feeling is tempered a bit by reality. Of the ports on this side of the device, 2 are highly modular and replaceable without the need for soldering, but the other 2 are not. It's a similar story on the other side. The ports here are grouped together on a breakout board. For whatever reason, Lenovo couldn't or possibly wouldn't bring a solder-free experience to all the ports. The trackpad is mercifully easy to remove and replace, a far cry from some designs that are glued in or obstructed by cables, brackets, and other parts. It's only under the battery, which comes out in a second. And what's left inside the chassis is the mainboard and heatsink, which is still wired up to a few flex cables and held by a few more screws. What stands out immediately is the soldered down wireless module. That, along with the remaining soldered ports, make up the only 2 main critiques in this otherwise exceptionally repairable device. I'd really encourage Lenovo to pursue ways to make the wireless module upgradable. If it does fail, there are options of using an external dongle, but this is a missed opportunity. One of my favorite things about scoring for repairability is the number of pathways to success. A 10 out of 10 score isn't the perfect perpetual motion machine, nor is it the end of the road. A 10 out of 10 should be an achievable goal that meets the needs of repair, prioritizing the commonly failing components and ones that are critical to function. The screen is the last major component to tackle, but thanks to its accessible design, I could have removed it from the moment I disconnected the battery. It's only held on by 4 screws, and it's a heck of a palate cleanser. Of course, getting to the camera isn't as easy as Framework's magnetic bezels allow, but Lenovo does have disassembly guides to help you along. So here's the big question: can a manufacturer that produces literal mountains of product achieve the repairability heights of more humble competitors? And I think maybe they can. This laptop has got the easiest keyboard removal I've ever seen and a remarkable tool-free battery removal process to boot. Every single major component except for the motherboard is individually and separately removable. Even the 2 USB-C ports are modular. Do some of the smaller components give me a bit of repairability whiplash? I mean, yeah, the soldered ports and wireless card are annoying, but does that outweigh the major wins? Nope. Given their identical designs, the T14 Gen 7 and T16 Gen 5 both joined the Framework 13 and 16 in the pantheon of repairability excellence with a well-deserved 10 out of 10 on our laptop repairability scale. In short, this laptop is easy to work on, as it should be. The T-series of Lenovo laptops are a darling of the IT industry. This kind of repairability will have a meaningful impact in our fight to reduce e-waste.